Hi, my name is Julia Villar. Today I will be discussing the music video Goody Goodies by CakesDaKilla. It is from CakesDaKilla's mixtape The Eulogy. We watched the music video in the beginning of the term, but I thought it would be appropriate to return to it. Because it is a significant video. It references several different topics that we've discussed in class through its visual aspects. It alludes to Afro-Surrealism, and it also alludes to gender expression. It has aspects of queerness that allow it to be viewed with a queer perspective and a queer reading, So, to begin, I'm going to show the beginning of it to remind everybody how it sounds and appears.
He only want me for my good good. He only want me for my goody goodies. He only want me for my good good. He only want me for my goody goodies. Let's get it straight, swerve up in it. This nigga try to dig me out in this Honda Civic.
Okay. So, okay, there we go. Present. So, now I will begin the visual analysis. Really quickly, we will look at some of the lyrics that we just heard. The chorus, he only want me for my good goody. He only want me for my goody goodies. He only want me for my good goody. He only want me for my goody goodies. Is particularly important because it immediately demonstrates that CakesDaKilla does not confine to gender stereotypes and gender expectations. He expresses himself as a gay man. He celebrates his goody goodies, his sexual energy that attracts other men. He is very assertive about it and very confident about it, which is an important aspect of my analysis because CakesDaKilla wants to reclaim sexuality and wants to move past the stigma of sexuality, especially in the Black community. He challenges stereotypes left and right. Okay, so to begin deeper, I'll give time here for you to read more lyrics and get an idea of what CakesDaKilla says. Meanwhile, I want to point out how CakesDaKilla refers to himself as a bad bitch, and how the lyrics change from "he only want me for my goody goodies" to that's the power of my goody goodies. By asserting that power, CakesDaKilla shows how strong he truly is and how he will not allow society to deny him of his sexuality in the least. And now I will move on toward a more deeper visual analysis. The beginning cuts back and forth between clips of CakesDaKilla facing different directions while covered completely by darkness and facing in the opposite direction. It then cuts to a medium shot of CakesDaKilla glowing under the light. The scene highlights the fluidity of gender, for while CakesDaKilla appears to have masculine features, They clearly embrace their feminine energy with feminine products like jewelry and makeup and accessories that men are typically not assigned to. It continues to cut quickly between images of CakesDaKilla's face and their self in the darkness while starting to sing the song They Only Want Me for My Goody Goodies. The music video introduces another person besides CakesDaKilla, who is a black dancer covered in different colors of paint. He dances. The scene was edited so that his movements seem surreal. They are not fluid like dancing usually seems. Instead, the dancing is more jarring and unpredictable. Suddenly, the scene cuts to an anonymous butt with a flower inside of it. It reappears again, splitting the screen with CakesDaKilla's face. Two dancers with blue, pink, and white paint then appear in front of a pink background. They are synchronized when dancing. The dancing gets quicker and quicker as more of the dancers are revealed physically. They are shown challenging gender stereotypes directly by wearing short shorts, despite that they appear to be men. CakesDaKilla then appears with red and white paint on his face in front of the two dancers, so they are synchronized together. By the end of the song, CakesDaKilla sings faster and faster, and with more intention. He is genuinely speaking with passion until the song starts to slow again toward the end. It uses more mirror and hallucinogenic effects as the tone changes. So the song goes from quick to slow. And as the song goes from quick to slow, the dancing also goes from quick to slow. So CakesDaKilla attitude transitions from assertive, reclaiming of their sexual pride, to a closer examination of their emotional and physical identity. The new pace of the video allows the viewer to focus more on CakesDaKilla as a relatable person who the audience can identify with. The ending highlights the emotional weight involved within the video that might not have been expressed enough in the intense singing portion. So now I will spend time connecting the visual aspects of the film, or the music video, I apologize, that I just described to texts and concepts that we discussed in class. So of course we discussed Afro-Surrealism. One moment. I thought that these images were solid examples of Afro-Surrealism in the sense that they do not depict reality as we always see it. We do not always see people in day-to-day life with paint, well, at least within the culture of the United States, I do not. But paint in different colors spread across their body in a dripping formation. It is like a form of art. The mirroring effect here also, I believe, relates to Afro-Surrealism because it is unexpected. It is also unrealistic. We do not see that type of human with two faces every day. It is meant to surprise the audience. Now I will turn to the Afro-Surreal Manifesto 2013 by D. Scott Miller. A quote I thought was important and relating to the music video is, Afro-Surrealists strive for Rococo, the beautiful, the sensuous, and the whimsical. We turn to Sun Ra, Toni Morrison, and Ghostface Killah. We look to Kanund Wiley, whose observation about the black male body applies to all art and culture. There is no objective image. There is no way to objectively view the image. View the image itself. Okay, back to the presentation. So I thought that the word Rococo here relates to the video because Rococo is a way to describe art. It typically describes art that uses warm tones like pink and white and light red, which almost the entire video is or uses a pink backdrop. So therefore, it is maybe inspired by Rococo in order to highlight the beauty of CakesDaKilla's sexuality. And now I will turn to Black feminisms and gender expression as a concept that relates to an article we read in the term. Before I speak about the article, however, I think that these images from the music video are important to highlight Black feminisms and gender expression because both concepts work to challenge stereotypical representations of gender and allow for fluidity, allow gender to be understood as a social construction that can be challenged and that can be rebelled against. We see CakesDaKilla with makeup and earrings and jewelry, as I discussed before, here to show that while he is a man, he still emphasizes feminine beauty and participates in feminine dress. I think the flower on the naked butt helps highlight how while a flower is a female symbol, it is directly tied to the male naked butt here. So I think the flower just stands as a symbol for femininity despite the assigned gender. So I will now discuss it in relation to Toward a Black Feminist Criticism by Barbara Smith. The quote I enjoy from Barbara Smith is, "At the Lesbians in Literature discussion at the 1976 Modern Language Association Convention, Bertha Harris suggested that if in a woman's writer's work a sentence refuses to do what it is supposed to do, if there are strong images of women, and if there is a refusal to be linear, the result is innately lesbian literature." So I know that this is not an example of literature, but it relates closely because it is a music video. It is still a media that we consume. And I think that CakesDaKilla successfully goes against the grain. I think that CakesDaKilla refuses to be linear, like Barbara Smith says. So it might be a form of lesbian literature. It is worth taking note that CakesDaKilla's work helps challenge the ability to exclude the Black lesbian literature from mainstream culture in general. Finally, I will discuss the queer reading of the music video. CakesDaKilla is openly queer, and so we assume that CakesDaKilla wants to emphasize their queerness and celebrate their queerness in the video. I don't know for certain, but I would like to argue that the dancers with the paint, the pink and blue and white paint, um, stand for people who might sexually engage with CakesDaKilla. The dancing may be seen as jarring and unpredictable, as I mentioned earlier, but also erotic. And um, I think that CakesDaKilla uses it as a celebration of all sexuality. But it is worth noting that queerness is a large aspect of the film and a part of CakesDaKilla's identity. I wanted to end by referencing No Homo by Jatovia Gary. No Homo by Jatovia Gary is an interview with CakesDaKilla, and CakesDaKilla and Jatovia Gary talk about CakesDaKilla's music, experiences in high school, and they also talk about his sexuality, and CakesDaKilla shows to be very confident in his sexuality. He has always been aware of his sexuality and is wanting to inspire others to be open about their sexuality, I guess, in a sense. So, thank you for listening to my analysis. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks.